Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue with the theme of my mother's recipes. This one is one that I do not remember. My sister remembers it and wanted me to make it. But it's an old-fashioned oatmeal cake. So that's what we're going to do today. I'll put up a screen with the ingredients and we'll get started. Alright, for the first step of this recipe, what I have in the bowl is 1 cup of old-fashioned rolled oats, and to that we're going to add 1.5 cups of boiling water. And we're just going to stir that in. And we're going to let this sit until we get all the other ingredients mixed in, and then we'll add the oats. Alright, now that we've got our oats soaking, we're going to move on. Right here I have 1 cup of light brown sugar and 1 cup of white sugar we're going to add to the bowl. And then we're going to add 1/2 cup of butter, softened, a little bit melted but softened. And to that we're going to add 2 eggs beaten. If you ever have a recipe that says to add beaten eggs to your recipe, make sure you beat them before you add them, because sometimes you can't get them mixed in very well if you don't. So the directions said to cream this, so that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to mix this all together, almost like you're beating an egg. But you're just trying to get it all incorporated and all the big lumps out. And if you notice it turned a little pale, that's what you're kind of looking for. So I'm going to continue to mix this, make sure I get all those little lumps out before I move on. Alright, we got it mixed up pretty good. It looks pretty uniform. So our next step we're going to do is dry ingredients. So I got 1.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're going to add that in to our wet, and then we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. That doesn't seem like much, but vanilla extract is pretty strong. So now we're going to start folding this in to make our batter. So I'm going to continue to mix this till I get it cohesive, and then we'll be back. Alright, I got it mixed in pretty good. The next step is to add your oats and the water that it was soaked in. And we're going to mix that in. So it makes a pretty thick batter. This is the first time I'm ever making this, so it smells good. I'll give it that. So now that I get it all mixed in, I'm going to preheat the oven to 350, and I'm going to spray down that baking dish, and we'll start baking. Alright, so I got it mixed in pretty good. I got my 9x13 baking dish. I've sprayed some cooking spray in it. So we're going to add the batter. and you want to even it out. That looks pretty good. So we're going to put it in a 350-degree oven. We're going to bake it for 30 to 35 minutes and check it with a toothpick when it comes out clean. So after I get in the oven, we'll start making the icing. Okay, we got the cake in the oven baking. So the next step is to make the icing that goes on the cake. Now this icing is going to go on the cake hot, which is not normal, but that's what the recipe says to do. So in this bowl, I have 1.5 cups of brown sugar, and to that we're going to add 1.5 cups of coconut, and then we're going to have 5 tablespoons of evaporated milk, a stick of butter, softened, and another teaspoon of vanilla. See if there's enough in here. Yep. Alright, so we're just going to mix this to combine. You just want to get it all wetted, basically. Looks like it's going to be pretty thick, but that makes sense. You're going to put it on a hot cake and it's going to melt, and then we're going to put it back in the oven for a little bit and toast the coconut on top. So always have a reason for everything. You just want to make sure you get all that butter incorporated good. Alright, that looks pretty good. So when our cake's done, we'll frost it, put it back in the oven. Okay guys, I pulled the cake out after 30 minutes. It looks pretty firm to me. I checked it with a toothpick. Toothpick comes out clean. So we're gonna go on to the next step. One thing I do want to say about this icing, it probably sat there for 15 minutes waiting on the cake. It really got stiff. So I went ahead and nuked it for about 40 seconds just to loosen it up because I didn't think I was going to get it out of here. So now we're just going to put our icing on the cake. And I got the oven set on broil on low. We're going to put it back in there and try to toast up the coconut. I'm going to do it on low because I don't know how long it's going to take and I don't want to burn anything. So you just want to spread your icing out to the edges. Get it completely covered. It smells really good. Alright, so we're going to set it back in the oven and broil it for, I'll let you know how long I let it go, and then we'll look at the finished product. Alright, well, our cake is out of the oven, and I'm going to tell you now, the recipe said put it in the broiler and watch carefully. Well, it means it. It was in there 2 minutes on low, and it was going really good when I opened it up. I went to do some dishes and I come back and luckily I checked it. But there it is. Here it is out on the plate. Let me do a little taste test. It's very good. You can taste the oatmeal, the brown sugar, the coconut. It's pretty good. Alright, so if you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. Hopefully tomorrow, it's supposed to be 57. Hopefully we get some trout fishing in and we'll have a trout video to watch. We'll see you next time.